Hi everybody, it's Kirsten here again from the Intuit Institute, and today I'm interviewing a colleague and a friend. She also lives in Manly here, so we actually met a while ago and I found out that she was doing yoga and other types of body work. She has an extensive background. As I was looking at the types of things that we're doing here, I thought it's very much aligned, because what she does is she really talks about the way in which we can align back to ourselves and really reconnect to our own true nature. It's very much aligned, so I'm quite excited to have her here and ask her a few questions on that. I think what she's doing is a little bit different, so you might be quite interested. So in this time, I was actually doing yoga at a yoga studio, and then I was working in the city, and I ended up also going to Fitness First because I could do yoga in lots of different places. And then when COVID hit, as you know, we weren't able to go to gyms or yoga studios anymore. And Samantha just shared how she was doing some yoga online, and since I started doing her yoga, I've just loved it. I haven't actually wanted to go back to the studios as yet. Really loving the type of yoga she's doing and how she can just bring it into your own home. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Samantha Hillier. Hi Samantha, how are you going?
Good, thank you. So I've been teaching and practicing yoga for probably almost 25 years, and along with that I practice different styles of body work. And the yoga that I offer is also not just doing the physical yoga, it also has to do with our lifestyle, the food that we eat, the different actions that we're creating in everyday life in relationship to what is happening outside in nature. So for example, we're here in summer right now, and summertime is a very expansive energy. We want to go out and we want to communicate with other people, we want to celebrate, party. It also is our capacity to be really creative. It's our ability to also have a really, really strong mind. So it's not just about our bodies being really, really strong and powerful in the summertime so that our hearts can manage the heat. We want that to happen, but we also want to be able to discriminate all the thoughts in our mind, because if the mind is too heavy, then the heart gets stressed out and there's more anxiety. So if we have a really clear mind, it makes it a lot easier. So it's a lot about discrimination, kind of like the fire. So summer is about the fire element and our ability to discriminate. So getting away those thoughts, or maybe there's ideas that we want to get out of the way and focus on the ones that really work for us and get clear about that. So that's our summer energy. I find it so accessible. So someone who is super fit and athletic, or there's someone who has never done yoga, or maybe they're someone who is a mother and hasn't done anything for themselves in 15, 20 years, or you've been sitting at a desk and you're just starting to feel very tight in your body. It's so accessible and everyone benefits from it. And we start right from the basis, making sure that your spine is really strong, and that starts to get our nervous system working a lot more optimally for ourselves.
Over COVID, some of us were having a few glasses of wine, so we're thinking about our liver and our certain organs. So you tend to bring that in. You were actually helping us do certain exercises that were releasing the toxins in that area. Can you explain that a little bit more and how you learnt about that? Is that something that you learn in general yoga training?
So the type of yoga I studied, this particular style, is it's called many names, Meridian Yoga Therapy, or Oki Yoga, Ryoho, Japanese yoga. But how I came into learning about that was because I was studying shiatsu therapy, which is a type of bodywork that originated in Japan but has oriental background. So that means that anywhere in Asia, and they talk about these lines of energy in the body, which they call meridians. And they also work with this system called the 5 element theory. So it's all here in nature, and it just must occur. So it's the way, that's what they talk about, the way of nature, the way of everything that exists. and it's so easy to apply to our lives, and it's really easy to see when things are out of balance. You can shift the way that you move and what you're doing in your life, how you are eating, and you just make these small little adjustments, or maybe you need to do big adjustments, and it'll help you come into a space where you feel really centered and comfortable, where you're not feeling in discomfort, or as we would say, dis-ease. So you don't always complain about not doing the things that you need to do or you want to do because of a certain ailment. You know, maybe your mind is always foggy and you're always tired, or your body is really stiff. You know, maybe you're suffering from stress and anxiety, and it prevents you from going ahead and just getting those things done instead of the fear taking over or the procrastination taking over. We're working with these aspects to really build the body into a nice, strong temple, or strong unit, and it really holds your mind, it holds your heart. You just feel so much more alive, and you start to really want to have that. Once you remember that, because you had it as a kid, you remember it. It comes back and you go, oh, this is the way it feels when I'm energized, or this is the way it feels to have a relaxed heart, and my shoulders aren't tight, my neck isn't tight, my eyes feel much more clearer, and there's so many parts. You don't have that back pain anymore. You're sitting at the computer, you find yourself sitting up really nice and straight. The mind is a lot clearer. You're also just naturally, your breathing is going to become deeper, and your body just works so much better when you learn how to breathe well. I have noticed the ones who've had the opportunity to step away from their normal life, they have spent more time in nature, and how it's just they've come to a realization of what their life could be like if they spent more time in nature and they looked after their bodies. And of course, there's other people who have been working tirelessly through COVID. They're not having that human connection anymore, and maybe they're not making the time for themselves to get out there. There's a lot more stress, a lot more mental health problems, physical problems, because the cupboard door is always very nearby. So maybe they're taking bad choices or more choices of food than is necessary. And that's the other thing I really love about the online classes, because I have people who are out in far northwest New South Wales, in country, in Queensland and Victoria, friends here in Sydney as well, clients and friends, and being able to work with all of them online, and they're individually attended to, because I'm really watching, and they also create community. They're maybe not seeing each other so much, but they know each other. They know each other and are aware of each other, and it really brings that connection back, which is so important for humanity, that we have that sense of connection and purpose.
Well, thank you so much, Samantha. It's been great to experience your yoga classes, and what I'm doing with our individual program is looking at having practitioners support the whole program, so looking from a body point of view, looking from a health point of view.